The soaring number of COVID-19 deaths in the Indian capital, New Delhi, has forced officials to find more sites for cremations and burials. The country has registered more than 386,000 new infections on Friday. But a mass vaccination drive that began earlier on Friday has already hit several hurdles. In the commercial capital, Mumbai, inoculation centres have closed their doors due to a shortage of shots. It's a similar situation in other states and major cities, where authorities have either suspended vaccination campaigns altogether or voiced concerns over the availability of jabs. Well, for more on this, let's talk to Bharat Pankhania. He is a senior clinical lecturer and joins me live now. Thanks very much indeed for being with us on the programme, Dr. Pankhania. So every day now we're seeing a new record of cases in India. How can the country start to get on top of this?
It's going to be a tall order, and this is a consequence of having dropped their guard and allowed people to interact with each other, large festivals, large political rallies, and this is the unfortunate consequence. Poor people die. So it's going to take, if the Indian government will listen, they are going to have to bite a difficult bullet. They will have to have a shutdown, and a shutdown that's going to last at least 3 months. And then they start immunizing and immunizing safely. They need to set up field hospitals. Your report said they were setting up additional cremation facilities. Yes, that is a good idea. They also need to set up many more additional facilities for field hospitals for the number of people needing oxygen therapy and hospitalization.
And India is a country that manufactures a lot of the world's medicines, but is running short of vaccines. What's gone wrong?
Well, unfortunately, this is a consequence of vaccine nationalism and pharmaceutical companies fighting to preserve their rights and their patents. So with respect to making extra vaccines, there was a moratorium, a restriction on supply of reagents from the United States. Only very recently, President Biden has relinquished that moratorium restriction on supply of reagents. So there will be a backlog in the manufacture. Really, going forward, we need to set up extra manufacturing capacity in many parts of the world, and pharmaceutical companies need to come together and relinquish their patents. And the rich countries like UK, European Union, United States, Australia, Switzerland need to agree at the WTO, World Trade Organization, to relinquish those patents because we have a global emergency here.
And looking at the wider global pandemic, how does what's happening in India potentially affect what's happening globally?
What happens in India can happen anywhere, and this is a warning for us not to rely on any one country to supply us with PPE, reagents, vaccines, or any other material. We need to have these things available in many parts of the world. Therefore, now that India has got its large exponential rise in number of cases pandemic, it won't be able to supply to other parts of the world as was promised. Therefore, I make the case, and I prove my case, that if we had additional capacity, and we do have it, if only those pharmaceutical companies and those countries I mentioned would allow it to happen.
Dr. Bharat Pankhania, thanks very much indeed for talking to us today.
Thank you.